Hey guys, I'm MrJCallMeJoker. I give you guys best ride tips, how-tos, and tutorials that make you guys a better rider as quick as possible. Now, if you guys don't know me, I'm MrJCallMeJoker. I give the best ride tips, how-tos, and tutorials. I'm 17, almost 18. I'm a senior in high school. And I make videos here on YouTube. So, today's video is traffic. But not just traffic, but car accidents. So, what is a car accident? A car accident is a traffic collision or motor vehicle accident. It occurs when, let's say, vehicle A hits vehicle B. So, when you have a car accident, there's many things that happen. Obviously, you just hit someone's car. You could have totaled it. You could have messed it up a lot. Both parties have to report it to their insurances. You have to call the cops. All of that. So there's a lot of things that you have to do. Accidents don't just happen to cars, though. Accidents can be you hit someone, whether it be a pedestrian, or maybe you're angry at your, ex-wife or something. I don't know. For whatever reason, accidents can happen. You don't just hit people, though. You could run into a stop sign, or you can run into a light, or you run into a dog or a cat. Whatever reason it is, that's technically a car accident. Your car hit something, and now you gotta handle that something. So, car accidents are big right now. There's a lot of them that have happened over the years. So, over the years, car crashes have dropped. There have been less since 2005. But back in 2015, we all remember 2015. Not as much as 2016, but 2015. Back in 2015, there was an increase in car crashes by about 35,000. So, that's about 96 crashes a day. Sorry, my sock is stuck. So that's about 96 car crashes a day. This is just the U.S. We're just doing U.S. now, guys. So it's 96 crashes a day here in the U.S. That is huge. That 96 deaths a day. Okay, think about that. That is huge. That is 96 people, 96 humans like you and me who died because of a car crash. Could have just been one person in one car. It could have been a family of 5 people in that number. That's a lot of car crashes. If it's individual, that's really a lot. If it's a group and stuff like that, okay. But still, it's a lot of people. So, car crashes are bad. I've been in a few car crashes, not by me. I don't even have a car. But I've been in car crashes with family. I've been in car crashes with friends. I've been in a few car crashes. So, when you're in a car crash, you get really shaken up. I remember getting in a car crash, and it was a long time ago. And I got so shook up. My anxiety was through the roof. And I just started freaking out. I was really, really young at this time. So I was so scared. It was bad. My anxiety was through the roof. I was, really nervous. I was shaking. I was getting really hot and overheated. I didn't eat for a few days. I didn't even want to go into the car. Because I was so scared, well, what if I get hit again? So, when you get into an accident, you could have that effect, especially if you get in multiple accidents. So, I would recommend that you don't get in an accident, and you drive normal, like a normal person, and not drive like a crazy person. When you're driving, you gotta remember, you're in the wheel of your car, and you're in charge of everyone in your car, but you're also supposed to be looking out for all the other people. You don't just look out for the people in your car. You gotta be looking out for everybody on the road with you. You don't want to be the cause that maybe someone's daughter or son dies because you wanted to check your phone real quick. Or you had a bad night, so you decided to drink and then speed to work. No. You don't want to be that person. Take the initiative to not drink and drive, for one, not drive and speed, not get distracted by your cell phone. I would recommend, one, if you're driving, put your cell phone in your glove box or somewhere where you can't get it. My old phone, when I first started driving, whenever I was in a car and I was driving, my phone, it had a lock, and if I drove, it would lock, and I wouldn't be able to unlock it until the car came to a complete stop. So, get something like that. I don't know if that app still exists. That was like ages ago. I think that was back in 2015, 2016. So, this is a long time ago. So, there's apps and stuff, or you could just lock your phone and just not touch it. If you're having a bad day, never drink alcohol and drive. That's just how you get a DWI, or you crash, or it just never helps. So don't drink and drive. If you're speeding, I understand things happen. You gotta rush, you got things to do. But don't excessively speed. Okay, 5-10 miles over. Okay, but if you're going 96 in a 34 or a 35, you've got a lot of problems. If you're in a school zone and you have flashing yellow lights and the speed limit is 15 and you're going 60, I don't know if you feel too good about killing little Susie and her parents. I don't know about that. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to be the reason to hurt someone else, hurt yourself, hurt an animal, wreck someone's property. You don't want to be that purpose. So I would strongly recommend that you guys drive safe, drive careful, and just try to avoid as much problems as possible. Motor vehicle injuries send 2.3 million, not thousand, million people to the hospital each year. We went from 35,000 to 2.3 million. So 35,000 overall, like that, but 2.3, this one's a worldwide one, 2.3 million every year. I believe that one is the worldwide scale, and not just the US scale, which was the 35,000, and this one's 2.3 million, which would probably be the worldwide scale, I believe. So that's a lot of people. So you gotta think about it. We went from 35,000 in the US to 2.3 million worldwide. That is a lot of people. And we're looking at about $44 billion in medical expenses and work loss costs every single year. So we're looking at $44 billion. You know how much that $44 billion could have gone to? Into people's medical bills, or their insurance, or having to pay people, or having to fix stuff. That $44 billion, that one's just medical. But think about, that's just medical. You gotta think about all the car crashes that have to be fixed. Say you ran into a building and you caused damage, you gotta factor that in. Your car flipped and maybe it took out like a street lamp, or you ran into a fire hydrant or a gas tank. Hopefully you didn't hit a gas tank, because I'm pretty sure you would explode. But say you hit a gas tank and didn't explode, but you still like screwed it up and it's like broken and all that. Think about all those things that factor into that. So things you can do, they're pretty easy. You can drive with the seatbelt on to avoid car crashes. That's always great. I always put on my seatbelt. First thing I do in the car right after sitting down is buckle up, Alright, and then if I'm not driving, if I'm in the passenger seat, I'll just get on my phone. If I'm driving, the first thing I do is get in, and then I put my phone away, and then I buckle up, and then I start driving. Of course, I fix my mirrors, all that, but that's how I do that. So always buckle up right when you get in the car. What you can also do is get your driver's license. So hopefully you're driving with a driver's license or a learner's permit or something. You're not just driving because, like, hey, I borrowed Grandpa's car and I'm 12 and now I killed little Bobby Brown from down the street. Yeah, I don't want you guys to do that. You should be driving with some form of a learner's permit, a provisional, or your driver's license. So don't drive if you don't have one of those 3 qualifications. Another thing you can do is just make sure that everyone in the car is safe. When you buckle up, if you have other people in the car, make sure they're buckled up. Make sure they're aware of their surroundings. Maybe you don't catch something, and if they're on the lookout, maybe you're turning lanes, and a car comes up and almost hits you. Well, maybe you can swerve out of the way because, say, someone in the backseat told you, hey, there's a car right there, and they were in your blind spot, you couldn't see them, and now you just avoided an accident. So always be aware of your surroundings. Always have people in the car aware of your surroundings, because ultimately it could be a life or death situation. So, like I said, we're looking at about 35,000 deaths in the U.S. alone, and like I said, that's about 90 people a day. So that's a lot. So like I said, guys, buckle up. No matter what, always buckle up. Make sure children are in car seats. They're buckled up. They're safe. Whether they're a booster seat, car seat, make sure you buckle up car seats if they have the buckles that are on the car seat, and make sure you use the regular seat belt to buckle the car seat into the car. That way, when you're driving, your child just doesn't, like, you stop and then they, like, fly through the dashboard. Let's not do that. You don't want to drive if you don't have your glasses on. If you need glasses and you can't see while driving, you probably don't want your glasses off. If you're driving and you're drunk, you probably don't want to drive. If you're driving and you're under the influence of a substance, you probably don't want to drive. If you're really old and you're like 90 and you haven't driven in like 10 years and you're like, well, maybe today I'll feel like driving down the road to the grocery market. I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's a great idea. That is definitely not a good idea. So, obey the speed limits as well. You guys can make sure you aren't driving too far over. Don't drive too far under either. If you're driving like 15 in 65, I'm pretty sure no one's going to like you. There's going to be road rage. Things are going to happen. You can even be pulled over by a cop. So just don't do that either. Drive without distractions. Don't get on your cell phone. Don't be texting. Don't be eating. I know that's weird. People would be eating, but it's not unheard of people like, oh, I'm going to eat my chili dog from Sonic and drive at the same time, and then you crash. So don't get distracted by eating, or maybe you're like, oh, maybe I can drive with one hand and you're like drinking a drink from the coaster and driving at the same time, not looking at the road. We don't want that. Or you're just driving one-handed and you're drinking, you're like looking down at your drink and then crash. So just don't drink alcohol or regular drinks while driving. That's not safe. Don't be texting and driving. Always put on a seatbelt. Make sure everyone in your car is in their seatbelt and aware. Make sure you're not driving over the speed limit. All of that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Mr. Jared Joseph. I give you guys best riding tips, how-tos, and tutorials that make you a better rider as quick as possible. Now, you can't be a great rider if you're dead. So, do not get in an accident because you can't be a great rider if you're dead. Big goals there, guys. You can't do anything in life if you're dead. So, I'm Mr. Jared Joseph. I give the best how-tos. I give you guys the best... I can't even say it right now. I upload Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays with advice and lessons. Wednesdays with current events. Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays are my usual days off, unless a video needs to be uploaded. This video is not a current event. Hopefully this video will upload quickly, and I can start the next video. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm MrJCallMeJoker. I give you guys best riding tips. There it is. How-tos and tutorials that make you a better rider as quick as possible. If you guys didn't enjoy this video, like I said, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to my channel, because I post new content, like I said,